Yes, guys, welcome back to the Real Life Curriculum Podcast. Today we're joined by Dina, founder of Survival Fitness. Thank you for joining me today.
No, thanks for inviting me on.
Come hear it like our old song. Feel it like our old song. Can't rest, won't rest, believing in the process. Every day's a progress, slow steps, I need more.
Could you just let me know how you come up with Survival Fitness, where the idea come from, where the journey started?
The name came from when I was a little girl. I used to play in the garden with my brothers, and we had loads of climbing frames, apparatus. So we used to make a survival circuit and see who could get around the circuit the quickest.
Okay.
So that's where the name came from.
And then how long has Survival Fitness actually been a thing?
She's been alive for 2 years now.
Nice.
Well, yeah, 2 years, yeah.
And I know you said that the base you're in now, that wasn't always the one that you're in. So where was you before?
The what now, sorry?
The bit the where you are now, where the studio is. You weren't always there, were you?
No.
Where was your first studio?
My first studio was still here in Leicester, just round the corner. I called that my little baby den. That was my first baby.
And what was the reason then for expansion? It's just more clients?
Just outgrew it, yeah. I'm grateful, very grateful. The kids just came flooding in. So after about 8 months of being in baby den, we had a wait list.
Yeah. So was it just kids at the start, when you did it, or was it women?
No, I've always been women and children.
Okay. And then recently there's been a men's class added in, yeah?
Because now the team's grown, it's not just me.
Yeah.
So I call myself a ground worker, because when it comes to admin, I'm not the best. So I'm still a ground worker, and I'll always be a ground worker. Mm-hmm. So now I've got more. So we could open more classes. I've got more female classes going on. Mm-hmm. I've got different type of children classes. We've got men classes going on. It's just all going on now. Yeah, it's good.
How did what made you even want to open a calisthenics gym? What was it that sparked that for you?
I was a gymnast growing up as a little girl.
Okay.
But you can't just open a gymnastics academy. The competition is massive, and you have to have a lot of qualifications that you have to go through pro gymnastics, through pro gymnast themselves.
Yeah.
So you can't just become qualified. So when I landed in this city, I thought, calisthenics is pretty much the same thing, but it's more doable for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's not. Gymnastics is a little bit more particular, whereas calisthenics isn't. So I thought, I'll open a Cali gym instead then.
So do you still have to have certain qualifications to open up and things like that?
Oh yeah, so I've got my calisthenics, I've got my CrossFit, adults and children, I've got my PT, I've got loads. But for example, if I wanted to become just a level 0 gymnast coach, a level 5 gymnast, or a level 3, I don't know, 3 or 5, has to put me through that.
Okay.
So you have to be kind of involved in an academy already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm not involved in any academy.
So it's a bit more long-winded with the gymnast route.
Probably would have took me 3-4 years to open a tiny gymnast centre, and then there's already 3-4 international centres in Leicestershire. So I'd just be at the bottom of the pile. Yeah.
So what's the difference? The main difference between calisthenics and CrossFit?
Oh, never been asked that one before. Calisthenics and CrossFit.
Yeah.
So CrossFit,
certain things are similar, I guess, with them both.
CrossFit is military-style training, which then incorporated gymnastics with it, which was a fantastic idea. It actually came from America.
Okay.
So whoever created that, I don't know the name of the man, but he's a genius, because those two things are needed within the human body when it comes to movement. So calisthenics, compared to CrossFit, is that CrossFit's a high-intensity military-standard workout, but involves weights and your body, whereas calisthenics is a lot more, I'd say, slower paced, but it's still using all of you, and then you add weight to you.
Okay.
But you're still using apparatus as well. You do both, floor and apparatus.
So what would you pick calisthenics over going to the gym, lifting weights and all that?
I do pick calisthenics over going to the gym, yeah.
What's your reasons for that? Why would you promote that to other people as well?
Because a great example that I've said to you about earlier is that I've met so many people that are extremely strong when they're using a leg press machine, a squat rack, a barbell lifting station, for deadlifts or whatever. But then you ask the same person who can probably squat double their body weight, can you press up? No. Can you pull up? Can you even dead hang? And they can't do any of these things. So scientifically, just because you can lift a barbell off the floor or you can squat on your back and your booty and legs look incredibly big, doesn't mean that you actually are strong. And the impact that you're going to have in the future is also why I choose Cali over the gym. Because I know that my body can handle what I'm doing to it through me and then adding more to that. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm not going to need to leg press a 250 kg table away from my body one day, am I? But I can pistol jump with my own legs. I can pistol jump with weights now. I can jump on a box with one leg. So to me, that's more powerful, more mobilization, mobility-wise, than pushing a leg press on a machine.
Yeah, I definitely believe they're more powerful, but I actually just think it looks cooler as well, you know. Like,
I love the feeling.
Literally, that's what I mean. I think it's much better if you could do like muscle ups instead of lifting really heavy, like a squat or something.
Like I say, can you pistol squat? Try it one day.
Yeah, I'll come down and try it.
But then also try how much you can push press on a leg press. You'll be surprised. Yeah. I can leg press, I don't know, a lot, 150 kg with one leg. But then you go to pistol squat and people can't do it.
That's what I mean. I think it's mad though, like how through just doing bodyweight stuff that you can actually, if you then wanted to do weights and lift heavy, that actually help you more than like just going gym and then like each week increasing.
But the results you get from it is also why I choose my own body over a machine.
So like, you know, is there like a progress path, or is it just like based on you as a person really, like with calisthenics?
I guess both. It's based on you, like I guess the foundation you've had as a kid. So I have noticed that people that were either in martial arts growing up, gymnastics, anything body-wise, they click onto calisthenic movements a lot quicker than the person that hasn't. So I guess everyone is individual, I guess, but you also then all need to follow a program. Like even myself being a gymnast, I can't just skip ranks just to get to a muscle up. You know, I have to still follow the steps.
So like now, like your training, like what's your like training consist of like each week? Or does it just switch up all the time?
Well, you would believe me if you watch my gram, but I'm on it every day.
Always?
Always, because it's what I need. Like I wouldn't want to wake up if I had a day of just lounging around doing nothing. My body doesn't need that, my head doesn't need that. So even if I'm going for a long walk, I'm still doing something, and then I'll wind down in some sort of heat. I'll do something to then calm my body and my mind back down.
This video is sponsored by Strong Pilates Leicester. Me and Dion have both been coming in for over a month now, feeling better mentally and physically. It's not just for women, it's for men too.
Trust me, yeah, I'm feeling good about this one. Super excited for the sponsorship, super excited to do more training sessions here. And yeah, like Carl said, Pilates is for men as well. Thank you guys. You know when you're doing like calisthenics like every day then, does your body like ache as it would like when you go to the gym, or is it not that bad?
No, it's not bad at all.
But do you still feel good that like you've done a workout? Like,
oh yeah,
you can feel that you've done a workout.
You get fatigued really fast as well compared to other movements. Like I do CrossFit as well. I do that 3 times a week and I love it. But I can do CrossFit for an hour, or I can do a calisthenic class for an hour, and I'm way more tired after the cali class. Like my body's tired. That's when my arms are like, oh, I've had enough now. Whereas after CrossFit,
is that, do you think that is that?
Because you're using you, so the energy's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a nice feeling though. And again, results come rapid as well. It's good.
So do you reckon after like 1 month of just doing calisthenics, you'll be able to tell like a difference? Well, you should be able to tell a difference.
I'd say 6 weeks plus. 4 weeks cutting it a bit fine.
Okay.
6 weeks plus with a consistent diet as well, good lifestyle. Because again, I'm involved in the Cali community quite a lot with all the men side of it. There's not many females that do calisthenics. But a lot of the guys, they do ache, but they don't stretch as much.
Okay.
So lifestyle is just as important as everything else.
Yeah.
You can't just do Cali and then I'm going to walk out the gym now and just think my hamstrings are going to be okay and my knee and hips are going to be okay. It doesn't work like that. So that's where, again, the foundation is good for you. My foundation was good from gymnastics. So I'm extremely loose. But if you're going to start calisthenics, you have to stretch before and after as well.
Okay. But even if like you've not had that background in gymnastics or anything like that, do you think it is still for anyone, like you can still come and learn and get to like a sick level?
Yeah.
Defo.
Yeah.
And you know, like just going to like the business side of things, like what would you say when you were starting up, what were like some of the challenges or obstacles you come up against, like when trying to open up and things like that?
I faced loads of obstacles, but some of the problems were myself. Like I'd caused some of the obstacles, and there's some obstacles that were just natural. You had to just find a way around them.
How do you find a way around them? Like, what's your process when it comes to
I'm learning to not be as impulsive.
Okay.
I used to make decisions quite fast and on the spot, and then you'd be facing too many obstacles then. So in a way, I'm kind of glad I went through that phase, because it's taught me how to think quicker, and it's taught me how to think of other people before I start thinking about my own decisions quick.
Okay.
So, but you have to go through some like bad points to get to that though. Yeah. So yeah, we faced a lot of different random obstacles.
And like how important would you say like having a team around you has been, like since like having survival fitness?
I really wanted to ask if I could bring one of the girls on, because over the last year we're going where we're going because I've got a team. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I'd stayed where I was in the first year, you might not even want me on here. You might be, what's survival fitness? What is that?
Mm. And what would you say is, do you have like a plan, like a goal of where you want it to be? Do you want more studios? Do you want a bigger studio? Like, what's the plan?
That's one good thing about survival fitness is it can go so many different places, and we've created so it can go all these different places. Mm-hmm. And we've got plans coming from starting from next year, the year after. We've got loads of different plans in place. We've already started loads of different projects. Mm.
And like personally for you, how big of an achievement was it, like having this gym and like founding it and being where you are now?
On a personal level, it was deep, because obviously my circle knows this and my family know it. I went through a lot to get to where I've got to now. Mm. I had to like sacrifice a lot, and I'm from an Iraqi background, like an Arab. My dad's Arab, mm-hmm. So to be the only girl to leave home, not married, wanting my own career, wanting to go traveling, wanting to dress and be how I want to be, it wasn't easy. Mm-hmm. I had to lose a lot of people and sacrifice a lot of things. So I made sure that I put that passion and all that loss that I have experienced into then creating something. If not, I would have just might as well just stayed where I was. So I do make sure I just put it in a strong place and use it.
I guess it's very like easy to say, but it's harder to do, like what you just explained there. So like, how were you able to like use what you've been through to actually push you forward, like make you want more in life and want to achieve things and things like that?
It's my heart and my ego. I won't fail, and I won't. What I don't want to do is I've also put my family through a lot, not just myself. I've put them through loads. I'm not going to do that to then be no one. Mm. I want my mum and my dad to be able to say, like, look, she's walked her own journey, but she's done it. So it's for me and for people. So that makes you stronger as well when you're doing it for other people.
Mm-hmm. And mindset-wise, like, do you do anything like, I don't know, like gratitude, meditate, anything like that helps out with that as well? I
pray 5 times a day. Okay. I never used to, but I do now. I meditate. I go on long nature walks on my own. I spend probably more time on my own than with anyone. But again, I personally need that, because I also know in the future I won't get that chance, because I can't wait to be a mom. It's one of my biggest goals since a little baby girl was to be this badass mom of all these kids. But I've always wanted to wait until it was my turn. Yeah. And I know that in a couple of years I won't have all the peace that I've got now. So I do take advantage of it a little bit. But
so like when you said you like to spend a lot of time by yourself, like what are like the reasons behind that, or is it just that you need that time for yourself to be able to do what you do?
Yeah, I need it and I like it. And yeah, I need it and I just like it. Fair. And it fixes me a little bit. Like I can have the maddest ideas, and rather than
you're on your own.
Yeah, and sometimes I can go through them, or I can speak out loud, but to my close people. Mm-hmm. And then when you've spoke it out loud, you've heard it, you've spoke it, you can then go away and think. Mm-hmm. And I'm a little bit stubborn too, because I've done my life on my own for a long time. So just like my own company.
Mm-hmm. Do you find it like hard then, like letting people in because of that, or letting people into in the circle?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say I let people into my inner circle, but I'm not scared, or I don't really hold back I'd say I put my heart on my sleeve because I don't mind. Because I'm that person, if you do something that I think, no, I don't trust you anymore, I'm gone. Which again, it's stubbornness, and it doesn't always do me any favours, and I'm not always correct. But what I'm quite good at is reflecting and then thinking, oh, do you know what, just not everyone thinks the same way.
Yeah.
And just because she might or he might think differently to you doesn't make them any less of who you are. But I have to remind myself that sometimes.
You know, like just going back to calisthenics, what would you say is your favourite exercise to do, or favourite move?
Oh, handstands.
Handstands?
Yeah.
And then like push-ups with it, or just literally handstands, walking with it, or...
No, just balancing a handstand, because that on its own is insane. Yeah. When I was a gymnast, it used to be a 20-second hold to even say you can do a handstand. Okay. Now it's like, I think they made it to 3 to 5 seconds, which I think is too easy. But still.
What's the longest hold you could do?
Oh, I've hit about 2 minutes.
Mad.
I love it.
And what, like, when you finish the 2 minutes, what is it that actually stops you? Just that you're literally aching, or is it just getting boring?
Everything's gone, your shoulders, your fingertips. You don't know how to breathe properly anymore. But some people can hold it for a lot longer. Yeah, but for me personally, my body was gone. So we do wall, on the wall, I don't do anything less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, freestanding balancing, I got 2 minutes.
Yeah. And so your classes that you run, have you got, like, for example, is every day different, or is there the same classes, or how does it work? Like children and
with the children?
Yeah.
So we just have 10 classes throughout the whole week. Day one is Wednesday all the way through to Sunday, and they're just run the same way. Because obviously they're all different kids.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a pretty good schedule, in my opinion.
Any of them come like most day, like all the days possible, or?
No, we only 95% just hit that one time.
Okay.
But then we have a lot on the sideline that they do at home. Like I said, we have a lot of projects going on that we don't speak so much about because it's more just in-house.
Yeah. So like, what would you say is the benefits of like kids actually getting into calisthenics, like from a young age? And what is the youngest age you take on as well? I
personally take on 3 years. But again, age can't be defined by, sports can't be defined by age. Because I'm 31 and I'm better than half these kids that come through, or half the women. You can't put age to it. So I've got like a 4-year-old that's better than an 8-year-old. So they're in the same class. So I take from 3 to 14, and the classes are all mixed.
Okay.
I don't look at age. I just look at their matureness, their ability, and how good they can listen.
And like, what's the main sort of like a kid that's coming in the first time ever? What is like the sort of basics that you'll run through with them? Like, what do you teach first, or?
We go through all the like standard stretches, and then all the standard military movements. So like your squat holds, your press ups, cognitive training. So we get that agility ladder out and the shuttle cones, because that's what kids struggle with the most, I find now. Because of the technology, I don't know. But
they're not out as much in it, so like
they're not out as much, or they're not using themselves as much. So their ability to think fast, and I think the word strategically, it's not there. They can't pre-plan. Or they can't think a few steps ahead, you know what I mean? It's a bit worrying.
Do you find that hard, like when you're teaching, or are you able to adapt to it?
You need patience. And again, even my own dad's always saying it, we don't know how you work with kids. Because my patience isn't always there, but when it comes to kids, I just love them so much. And I love teaching them, and I love seeing them growing. So I've got patience in my class.
And do you know like when someone comes in, like if you have to get another coaching or something like that, do you strategically choose who comes in, like who will be able to work there and things like that?
Oh yeah, we have a team. So I have 5 enrolled staff now on contracts, and all of them have been trained, all of them are qualified, all of them have been watched by me a lot. Yeah, I'm a bit, but if they stay, it's because they can handle it. If they don't come back, they don't come back. And is it hard as a coach as well, like calisthenics, like when you're teaching, like what you've got to do throughout the classes? Yeah, because you're constantly having to spot people as well. It's not just, you have to touch them, spot them, know how to do that. And obviously, we have a lot of religious children as well. So we've had to be mindful of male coaches with the children. Okay. So there's a lot we have to think about. But we have a load of procedures in place. And it runs really well. And what would you say is, like, if we were speaking this time next year, what would you like to have said has been like the progress, what the progress has been like? Is there any targets you would have liked to hit by then
that you've not already?
Yeah, I want to host the first and only ever kids Cali comp in the whole of the UK.
It's never been done before.
It's never been done. It's coming. And one of the main reasons it's never been done is there isn't actually a children's Cali unit, which is it's been such a shame, but now we've got one. And also, going back to looking at the gymnastic side and anything, martial arts, boxing, football, there's a grading system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the calisthenics never had a grading system.
Even till now?
No, now there is one because
Okay.
Survival Fitness has made one.
Okay.
And we've published it, we've trademarked it, we've done everything now. And this is one of the biggest projects we've actually got launching soon. Well, January it comes out. And now that means that there is a grading system, so we can, not just me, but all these qualified judges that are in the UK. There's some fantastic judges in the UK, but they go over to India or they go over to Dubai or anywhere in the Middle East and they judge over there because there's nothing here. So Survival Fitness is going to be the very first Cali comp in the whole of the UK for the kids through using our own grading system.
So you know that grading system, like can other like Cali gyms use that? Or
Yeah, we're allowing them to use it.
Okay.
So again, it's networking, I guess, and just being in the right places at the right time and knowing the right kind of people. I got into the Cali community in London, so I know some incredible men that work. They work in the council over there. I know the world champion of calisthenics called Jay. He's been over to us a couple of times, and he's coming again on the 17th of December. So it's people like him that have accepted this grading book, gone through it himself, couldn't believe how great it was, and he's the one that's actually going around and giving it to all these people, like, use this, use this, use this. So it's just, it's pretty cool.
And how important would you say then your networking before starting the gym? Like, how important was that for you? Like, when you actually did start and like the gym opened and things like that?
It was really important. I'm glad now that. Do you know sometimes you get that feeling just to keep doing something? You don't know. I get it about a lot of things.
Sometimes you can't see why, but you just
you just think doesn't matter right now, but just keep on doing it. When I landed in this city, I just made sure I was loud, just so loud, and it was lockdown. Everyone was quiet and chilling. I just made sure I was not, and that helped because then I think lockdown was like 8 to 12 months, however long it was. Then when it all reopened, I just had a line of clients waiting for me, plus a line of networking people waiting to collab. It was just worked.
Why Leicester, and why did you choose to come here?
So I'm only from down the road anyway, a little town called Loughborough.
Oh, okay.
And I'd worked in Leicester before I left.
Okay.
I went travelling for a little bit. When I was travelling, COVID hit when I was away.
Okay.
So I'd actually, when I say travelling, I went travelling but stayed. Set up this cute little life in Vietnam, loved it. COVID hit. Stayed for a couple of months during COVID in Vietnam. Couldn't keep doing it, money-wise, job-wise, visa, everything. So came back. But rather than going back to Loughborough, I'd already moved out from home 8 years prior to that.
Okay.
I left at 2021 after I graduated, so I left. So I couldn't go back to my actual family home. Couldn't afford to rent anywhere back in my hometown, so I came here to stay with my best friend.
And then that's how you started up now?
I started the day I landed here. I just knew. On the flight, I said to her, like, what are you going to be when you get back? I'm going to be a PT. She was just like, I'm going to get a degree quick.
What was like so as soon as you got here, it was still locked down, yeah?
Yeah. No, you guys, you hadn't been in lockdown yet.
Oh, okay. So you come back and then...
It was a week. I came back in the middle of March, like March the 12th or something.
Okay.
Then a week later, then the UK went into lockdown.
And then during that time, were you doing like anything like online or anything like that, or was it just studying really? Or
no, I opened an Instagram a year prior in Vietnam. So when I came back here, I just used that Instagram and was just being fitness orientated all over everywhere. So I just kept showing what I was doing every day.
Okay.
I was just doing me, which I do a lot of fitness anyway, but I just kept showing that.
And like people that started following it and then
I had a little bit of hate at first because they were like, who's this girl coming in this city, breaking all the rules? Because I wasn't really sticking to lockdown rules. But I just thought, well, I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Because I was doing me, I was on the fields, but more people were like that 1 hour situation at home and like the curfew and stuff like that, whereas my Instagram clearly showed I wasn't on a curfew. But more people were more interested in like who I was, and I had so many inquiries like, oh, where are you going to work when lockdown's over? Do you do PTs? What are you going to do? So I was thinking, yeah, this is going to work.
How big is like believing in yourself, like when you're starting something new? or setting up a business?
I love it because I do hear these quotes everywhere now, which is, you have to believe in yourself. I'm not going to try and persuade someone to believe in me if I don't believe in me bigger. Because how are you going to make them trust you if you don't trust yourself? Yeah, no, I'm a big believer. Sometimes it can come across as arrogancy, and I don't mean that. And even sometimes I get called a bit rude, but...
Is what it is, sort of thing.
Yeah, it is what it is, because at the end of the day, I stay in my lane. I just want to work hard. I want to create loads of different things and just have a good life, you know.
What's like have people like who have been training at survival fitness like for a while now, like have they seen like big benefits, like massive differences in their
Yeah.
Like what's some of like the main differences that come up?
Do you know what makes me like, it actually brings tears to my eyes? Like we do a lot of, like I say, religious women, and we've had loads. We don't share it because we're not bothered about that. We know what happens behind our doors, and we've had so many women that have come to me and like they're in tears. Do you know when they take all their gowns off, all their clothes, and they're like, my husband calls me this, or my husband won't touch me, or I don't even want to look at myself in the mirror, or I don't even want to try and get married. All these things, honestly, it really hurts my heart because I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I can't wait till my husband can look at this. Do you know what I mean? So it hurts me so much when I hear that from women, but we've turned so many women around. So many. And like even one of the biggest achievements was not long ago, one of my clients was in the middle of Dubai with her husband at this wedding that she'd flown out for. And a year before, she'd walked in my den 5 days after birth. 5 days. We actually both went onto the Leicester radio to talk about this story together. It was brilliant because most PTs wouldn't take a female on 5 days after birth because for very common, like obvious reasons. Yeah. But I assessed it myself, spoke to her, got to know her on a deep level, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it. 6 months later, that girl the woman even had just completely changed her whole life. And it's not just for her, it was for her 2 little boys, it was for her husband. And when she was at that wedding, she said, Dina, I felt just as good as looking at that bride. But she didn't feel like that on her own wedding day. And that's just one client. We've had loads like that. Loads. I love it, I do.
What do you think, like, why do you believe like helping people is good, like providing a service when it comes to business?
When it comes to business, why I should help people?
Yeah.
Because I want my business to be successful.
And do you think that's, like businesses, when you're setting it up, do you think that should be at the forefront of the business? Like
but wanting to help someone. Oh yeah, you should, yeah, your service should be the best that you're trying to provide, or it won't work. Or it will work, but you'll always keep hitting brick walls, and I hit enough of them anyway. And I really do try and put my clients at the top. My kids go way at the top. My women know that if anything happens and it clashes the odd time, my kids come first. And the women are, I'm so sorry, women, like, no, the kids need me. So you have to, the clients are first, but your business is also second, your business is with it. Everything's a priority in a business though. And it really is, you know.
Is it hard? Hard work running a business?
It can be, and I'm going to be mindful of what I say because I can't wait for my people to watch this, but again, I'm the ground worker. So I don't believe my role is actually that hard. I love my role.
Was it ever hard?
Yeah, because I never had this team before. So when I didn't have a team, it was hard. Now I've got a team, I get all my time. I get time to myself. I can go training 3-4 times a day if I want to. I could go on 2-hour hikes and lock my phone off for 2 hours because I know my business is all right.
At this point, like where you're at, could you go travelling for 3 months and the business to be all right, or do you still have to be there?
I love how you've said 3 months because that's my goal next year. No, not yet.
3 months?
I could go for a month.
Okay.
I could do 4 weeks now, but
not 3, just
no 3 months, no.
Mm-hmm. But that's the goal. You want to get to a stage where you can go away and then everything's still running.
Well, like, we work in 12-week blocks. So my goal in a 12-week block is to be out half, in half, or at least out a third, back a quarter.
Okay.
Because no matter what, it's still my baby, and I want the children to still see. I still want to be with children. But even if I went away, when I do go away, travelling and do whatever I'm doing, if it's not for my own kids, it'll be for someone else's kids. I'll be doing it still for children.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just before I finish or anything like that, what would you say throughout your life, what would you say is the biggest life lesson you've took from your own life?
The biggest life lesson that I've learned
Yeah.
from the decisions I've made.
From like your own experience, your own experiences.
The biggest life lesson. Oh. Don't bite at people. Do you know when people do you wrong in any type of way, just let it be now. Just let it be.
No retaliation.
Yeah, that's it. That's the word. Don't retaliate. Because I think I was a retaliator. Well, I was. I don't think I know I was.
Why do you think that's like? Why? How have you come like to not retaliate now? Then, like, what was the main things that made you think, you know what, I'm not gonna even bite to that no more, react?
Because 50-50, it's always your fault as well. And I kept seeing that. I'd find myself in situations that I was thinking, if I was a mum, would I even send my kid to someone like me that acts like that? That's how I used to look at myself in the mirror, and I think, nah, I'm not doing that. I want to be able to, like you said, believe in myself. I want to be able to say to all these parents, look, you're paying my business and sending your children to me because X, Y, Z. I don't want to sit back and then doubt the odd little thing that I know I'm doing that they might not know. I just don't know. I don't want to do that. So no, the biggest lesson I've learned, is don't start anything and don't retaliate. Just chill out.
Love that. But
Yeah.
Honestly, thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for
appreciate
inviting me.
I really enjoyed this one. Thank you for everyone watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, until next time.
Sitting in my cell, hiding Zankos in roll-ons. I better make 'em hear it like an old song. Feel it like an old song. Can't rest, won't rest, believe it.